I remember the first time I went to a batting cage, I'll never forget it. I was 4 years old, jumped in the 50-mile-an-hour cage, whiffed at the first few, the next ball hit me square in the nose, blood coming out, I'm screaming, crying. I remember I looked at my dad and said, Daddy, I want to go back in the cage and try it again. And my dad said he was so proud of me because a couple minutes later, he saw his little boy, 4 years old, whacking the ball in the cage.
The captain of the Kansas City Royals, designated hitter and first baseman Mike Sweeney, has had a passion for the game of baseball as far back as he can remember. Mike's love for the game isn't surprising, considering his father was a former minor leaguer with the California Angels.
My dad had a chance to play minor league baseball for 2 years, but he thought that his job as a husband, a provider of the family, and as a father of children was much more important than chasing his dream of becoming a major league ball player.
At the age of 17, Sweeney led his high school team to a perfect 26-0 record.
Well, he was definitely the glue, and he was the leader, took charge, led by example. Everyone looked up and respected him.
Sweeney's team would go on to win the California State Championship, and the game was played at Anaheim Stadium, home of the Angels, which was a ballpark that meant a lot to Mike.
And I thought to myself, this is a field my dad could have played on, but instead he gave up his dream, hung up his spikes because he wanted to be a great father to me and a great husband to my mother. It's pretty cool to know that I'm living out my dad's dream.
But Sweeney's dreams didn't end there. In 1991, he was drafted in the 10th round by the Kansas City Royals. And 4 years later, Mike was called up to the majors.
My first 3 years in the big leagues, 3.5 years, things weren't going great.
After struggling to get to the majors, Mike now found himself in a struggle to stay.
The Royals told me, your career is done with the Royals.
That should end the ball game, and it does.
You have a 0% chance of being a Kansas City Royal this year.
He struck him out.
And I thought, like a ton of bricks had hit me, wow, my life is an absolute wreck. My heart was bleeding, it was broken, and I thought, of all the places I need to be, I need to go to Mass. So I go to Mass, I got on my knees, and I remember looking down at my Bible, and I saw a sticker that a friend had given me, and it was a sticker of a tandem bicycle. A seat in the front's the one that steers, there are passengers on each seat pedal the bike. And as I looked down through my tear-filled eyes, and I felt like God was whispering in my ear, Mike, it's time that you place me on the front seat of your bike and trust that I am God. And your job is to sit on the back seat and pedal. And I said, Lord, you know what? I give you my baseball career. I don't care if I never play baseball again. My job is going to be to pedal. I go to spring training the next week, and my prayer every day before I took the field was, Mike, just pedal for the Lord. I got on my knees, made the sign of the cross in my locker. I had the best spring of my life. I defied the odds and made the team in 1999. I went from a career 260 hitter to now I'm a career 305 hitter. I've been blessed to play in 5 All-Star games.
In the air, hit well toward left field. This one might go, and Sweeney has gone deep.
And Mike Sweeney made believers out of those who doubted. He'd go on to become the Royals' first true superstar since Hall of Famer George Brett. In 2005, Sweeney was even voted Major League Baseball's Man of the Year.
Ground ball. Sweeney able to knock it down. Out! Got him!
Mike is now praised so highly on and off the field that you might start thinking of him as Saint Mike. But he's really a regular guy whose competitive nature sometimes gets the best of him.
He never brings any negative attitude in the clubhouse or outside of baseball, so it's fun. He's fun to be around.
He's a really nice guy, talking to umpires, hugging on umpires out in the field and asking them how their kids are doing and all that stuff. But when he gets in the box, he's pretty ferocious. You don't really want to mess with him.
Uh-oh, what is this?
Whoa, 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 we've got a fight breaking out between Mike Sweeney and Jeff Weaver.
Jeff Weaver is a pitcher that's one of the better pitchers in baseball, and he's competitive like I am. And before a pitch, he shouted some things at me, and I lost my cool.
Holy mackerel, Mike Sweeney of all people.
I try to live my life for the Lord, and I try to be the best shining example I can. But also in the same breath, I'm quick to admit that I make mistakes.
Here we go again.
And we got it breaking out again. Right by home plate, and both teams are once again going head-to-head at home. Mike Sweeney and Fick at home plate.
Sweeney got the best of him now, baby.
Probably one of the things that hurt most was about 2 weeks later going to I was a youth minister at a church in Kansas City, and one of the girls coming out to me crying the first time she saw me. And she said, Mr. Sweeney, why did you do that? And she said, I turn on the news, and what do I see? You fighting, you charging the mound, you hitting guys, you know. And she said, that broke my heart. You let me down. And I told her, I said, honey, I want to ask that you forgive me.
But asking Jeff Weaver's forgiveness would not be nearly as easy. 5 years would pass without a single word being said between the two. Sweeney wanted to reconcile with Weaver, and so he picked up the phone.
And I couldn't press that send button. So I got on my knees on the side of the bed, and I said, Lord, humble me. It's time that I quit rationalizing sin and that I just come clean. As the phone rang and Jeff picked up, it was, hello? And I said, may I speak with Jeff, please? And he said, this is him. And I said, Jeff, this is Mike Sweeney calling. And there was silence. And he says, hello, Mike, how you doing? So I said, Jeff, I come to you, and I just want to ask that you would forgive me. And there was a little silence. And he says, Mike, he said, that's the easiest thing in the world I could do. And I thought, oh, amen. I said, Jeff, I have a 2-year-old boy. And I said, someday he's going to watch the video, and he's going to ask me, Daddy, why'd you do that? And I want to be able to look my son in the eyes and say, son, I messed up. But in the end, I did the right thing. And Jeff was kind. He wished me and my family a Merry Christmas, and I did the same to him. And I told him, I said, next time I see you, I'd like to shake your hand. And he says, I'd for sure welcome that.
Single? Double? Double? Triple? Home run! Home run! If I did not have a relationship with God that has really grounded me, I would probably be the one on Friday nights hammered at the bars. But my life is different. I am a lamp that has been plugged into the light socket of Christ. So that whether I'm 0 for 4 or 4 for 4, I go to bed and sleep well because I know my position is right here on the back seat of the bike, and all I have to do is pedal.